Alright, today we've got this Holden Astra door mechanism. Now I've got it here, the genuine mechanism for the door. What happens is the door central locking, it locks 3 doors and this rear back one doesn't lock. So we've got this brand new solenoid mechanism to put in there. It's a little motor in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the handle off it and we'll just pop that little clip out. I'll show you that little clip if I can get it out of the sand before I end up burying it. This is so small, but what I did is I used this little pick I've got here to pull that off, because this is how it comes off. It just, whoops, I'm dropping everything. But what you want to do is make sure you keep that stuff together, and I'll show you how that goes right now before we do anything else. This little clip here, all you have to do to put this back on is just, all it does is you push it into here, just like that, and that's how it goes. And then you just snap this back on the, when you go to put this back on there, you just push it back in with this little washer. Now I've got some screws to undo. I've got a couple under the door here, and I've got it, we can pull this handle out. So what you do is we've got to pull it up. It all just clips in like that. It's got a couple of clips in here. Make sure we don't go pulling that button out. We just stick that on the seat. Before I go take them screws off, this door cover here, they just pull off. You just got to pull the handle back, and yeah, I'll just undo them screws. Once I do that, all we got to do is undo these 3 here in the door lock, and that whole thing should move forward. And I've got a T40 tool bit here. It's a 6-point star for to undo that, but we've got to get this door skin off first before we really do that. Well, I've just started at the bottom, that door skin, worked my way along it, and I poked this in here, in the gap of it, and I've tried to get all these ones out. I've got the door skin off, just about. Well, I've got it off now. And what we'll do is we'll sit this cover on the back of the ute over here. Sit on the ute, and I'm going to go and pull these pieces out because I've left a couple in there. And yeah, I'll show you what I mean. This is why you've got to be so careful with this when you're doing this stuff. I'm sorry about the camera footage, but this is what I'm talking about. See, all these pieces are still stuck in the door. What you do is with this tool is you're trying to force it behind in the door so they don't get ripped out, but you can't help it, like, you know what I mean? So you got to pull. Oops, you can't help it, but just get the tool, because a lot of them they're going to pull out anyway, and I'm going to have to stick them all back in the door cover, and I'm probably going to have to glue these too, because they're going to keep falling out when you try and put the door skin back in. So I'll just what I'll do is I'll sit them on the back over here, sit them on there, and what I'll do is I'll put them in before I put the door skin back on. That's all the boring part. It's no big deal. And this is your weather shield cover. What we want to do is just, we don't really need a, well, we need to sort of pull it down a little bit, but we've got a clip in here behind this motor what hooks on. Alright, so we've got that plug out, and this is what our new one has got a hook into. So it's a 3-pin plug, so we definitely got that right. So what I'll do is I'll take the mechanism out, this mechanism what's tied in the door here. We'll just unclip these rods, just by really careful. There's another one here, whoops. Probably unclip this one like that, and with our tool I want to do these T40 bits, screws. Now Yeah, I'll be able to do that. Right, so I'm going to undo the mechanism of the door. Whoops, just sit down on the ground with the screw so we don't lose them. We should be able to pull this mechanism out forward. Got it hooked up in the door here. Now I might be able to take it, might be able to undo the screws. That's already come out. I'll be able to undo both of the screws and swap that over. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll be able to get it in my hand, lift it up. What we'll do is I'll just undo that screw. You won't be able to see it on camera, but I'll be able to get the screw out. Get yourself a small screwdriver. And we should be able to undo it and just put this back in there. That'll save trying to get the mechanism out and undoing all them rods and stuff, because it's quite a big job. As I don't drop the screw in the door. Should make out that motor's facing the right way too. Yep, it will be. Right. And this one here, we're going to just lift up and undo it like this. Alright, now here's the mechanism. Oh, it hooks on a rod. I see. So what we need to do is, I don't know if you're able to see, it hooks on that rod there. So what we need to do is turn the mechanism, hold it, take it out, just like that, and put that one in. With it, while we've got our hands in there, hook the other one straight into it, just like that. And then we need to bolt it back up with the screw, just like that. Put the screw back in it, while the screw's in there. We need to get our other screw that we've taken in. I know it's very hard for you to see. Whoops. It's hard to see, like, because when you I'm trying to hold the mechanism as well as lining up in this hole where it's got to go back. It doesn't want to slip out. I've got this one in the bottom of it that's not in far enough. Not easy putting it in. I just got my hand, managed to get my hand in there in the door, and what we need to do is make sure we get this mechanism. I've got that other stuff all lined up. I'm just thinking this mechanism though, make sure this mechanism lines up with that striker on the car door here, because when you go to shut the door, that's where it catches on that striker. So what we need to do is make sure we check that too. Don't go just shutting the door and not checking the striker. And you probably don't want to go doing these up like super tight, because you could end up stripping the mechanism of it. Oh, now I push that in there too far. What I'll do is get my little pick, grab my little pick, and we'll pull that rubber out. That's what I use, this pick to get that door clip off when we first started on that winder. Because what this clip does is, when this is on there on the car, what we can do is we can get this in the back of it, because you can't see that clip. We can get in the back, or we can even put it in there and turn it slightly. Imagine that's on the door. We can actually put it in there and turn it, and we can actually hook that clip and pull that up, and that will actually pull that spring off. Or we can pull it down there and hook on behind it to pull it out like that. That's why I've used this thing. But you can actually get a tool that's a flat fork similar to this. I've got one in the shed somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is, but what it does, it fits in there and it pulls that spring off, ejects it. It's just a real flimsy flat thing that can take that stuff off for you. And right, I took the worn out one out. It's definitely stuffed in there. Can you see that, how easy that moves? What I think I'll do is, because this one's already stuffed and the motor's rooted in it, what I want to do is, I want to take this off. I'll take it apart and I'll show you what's inside it. I'll show you inside the door. I'll take this camera off my chest too, and I'll show you what I've done in here. If you're not real confident about taking things apart, don't go doing it yourself. But there's a mechanism in there. I don't know if you can see that. I actually get the handle on the back of it. Where you open the door, the door's got a plastic thing that pushes down onto that mechanism. And when you work the handle, if you're seeing that mechanism in the back there move, that's the door handle when I'm moving, and this is the door lock. It works that plunger. That plunger in there is what's working this door. Now what we'll do is we'll hook this up. I'll just plug it in. Hoping that is the right way. Right, we definitely know it's in there properly. Righto, now let's get the car keys. Move that back. I just want to make sure, we're going to make sure we get this to hold that on, this plastic cover. And what we'll do is, just for the time being, we'll put one of these in there. We'll just snap that back in, and that will stop all that from falling down. Probably should have put it on the other side there. So what we'll do is we'll just move that back. We'll make sure, grab the keys out first. Make sure nothing can get jammed in the door when we go to shut it. We've got anything in the way, but make sure that striker lines up. I'll show you what I mean. Yep. Buddy, the mechanism's moving on it. I've got the door locked, but what I did is when I was leaning over it. Alright. So we know it works 100%. So let's put our door back together. And when you got this stuff off, you want to make sure you pull that back out. Whoops, throwing everything on the ground. I don't want all that shit on the ground everywhere. What I'll do is I'll make sure all this is in there properly. We've got all this done up. Make sure you got it lubricated, because once you've got this off, like, you know what I mean, like if you want to lubricate your back door, your winder or anything, this is the time to do it now. So, like, if you know what I mean, because once you put this on, you can pull that down and we can lubricate the winder. The driver's side door is really tight, and that's what that needs pulling apart. What I'll do is I'll put a little bit of grease in here, and then I'll get the door skin ready, and I'll once like that, and that's it. Let's go and get the door skin. And I've already greased up the mechanism. The mechanism's pretty wet and that from before, so I've already put it on the mechanism and that, some grease on that before, and we know it's good on the door here, on the latch. So you know what I mean, I've already greased that up. So let's get the door skin ready, and I'll put it on, and then I'll... Alright, we'll just go lift up the door skin. I've got all the tabs in. Lift her up. We've got to put our winder thing part in there first. Whoops. What we've got to make sure we do is... one's already fell out. One of them. Two's come out now. Two already fell out already. That's what I mean, you got to be so careful, because they just, it's a juggling act to try and, you want to try and snap the top ones in as soon as possible, as soon as you get the door skin in position, because the minute you move it round, they'll want to come out, and you want to make sure you get that plastic covering back in line properly too. Another one's come out, but that won't matter though, because what we'll do is we've already got it clipped in, half of it. What you can do is just carefully come around with your hand, and we want to pull it back. Whoops. Carefully come around, pull it back, get your hand, and then push it in like that. Just like that, and then we've got it all back on there then. That's just as so, like that. Now move your winder out of the way. Need our screwdriver. Put our screws back in. Probably should check make sure our mechanism works. Yep. Door skin back on there properly. I'll just put these in. I didn't show you taking these out, but I'll show you putting them back in though. Got two at the top, we've got two down the bottom under the door. Which is hard to see, but once you get started you don't even have to look. You're just going to find out where the thing goes. You can see it in the door there. Just go until they're tight, that's it. Right, next important thing is to do is grab your hands on a clean cloth. Make sure we wind the winder up. Whoops. We don't want to go putting that winder on yet, because we need to put this tab in. Now the winder, this is how the winder goes. That's it. I think I might have, where's that tool? I think I might have pushed the, yeah I did, I pushed the felt in on it. That's got it. Push the bloody felt in on the winder. Alright, we wind it down, wind it up. That's it. The winder's back on properly. Put the trim on. This is the trim here. Got a bit of foam behind here. Don't know what the purpose of that foam is, but I don't know why they put that on there. That's it. Right, I'll put this on. this just clips back in there. Might help if you actually start it the right way first. That's that. Then we got your door cover. Just clips back on there. That's it. Wind up the window after we just greased it. Let's watch the mechanism and see if it goes down. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Up. Good. Open the door. Close the door. Watch the mechanism. There you go. She's locked. She's fixed. Alright. So we fixed it. So we replaced the solenoid in the door. Use a genuine part, 1 and 2. This is a Holden car, Holden Astra. And these are Saab ones, are the same too. So you've got Holden Astra, Saab and others. They're similar. Alright, I thought I'd show this part. When we took this mechanism out of the car, and what we did is I've taken it out already. I've put the 2 pins out. There was 2 pins that went through in here. They actually went in there like that. But they actually went in here. I have to push this back in there in the case. I don't want to do that because I'm going to have to prise it back out. Mechanism. And that's what the mechanism looks like inside it. And how this was is this piece here would just slide into the top here. I'll show you. And what that would do is that would poke through the case when you put it back in, but I'd have to push that all the way back in. That poked through the case, and this was just a rubber cover that sat over it like that, so you wouldn't get any dirt and crap in it. But we don't want that. And yeah, and this is exactly what it's actually worn is it how it works is it gives it power. You got, you know, your power here, you got earth, plus they run up through here into the body, and it's got a switch inside it. Now I'll show you that switch. There's a switch there. As it goes past the switch, it pushes it in, so that must let it know to cut the power. And when you go to repower it, so what happens is we've got the door locked at the moment on the car, and it's on the switch. When it goes up, it must power the motor, and what happens is that switch comes out like that, and that tells it the door's unlocked. And when you go to turn the key in the door to lock it, that goes back down, hits that switch, and that tells it to stop, it's locked. So that's how this motor works, off that one switch. So if this fails, the switch ain't going to work. So what's actually failed in this mechanism here is that I'll just wind it back out. Is this is the part here, and it's failed. So what I'll do is I'm going to pull that off. And what's happened is this here, this is what that worm feeds on, and this is worn out. So there's the worm gear. What you see here. And you can see that the worm gear itself is worn down too. But the actual holder, what pushes it up, that's the only thing that pushes this up, that worm gear. And that's all it does. And that's a prime example of why it's so worn out that you can do that to it. That worm gear should lock it in place, and you should be only able to push this up with the motor. You shouldn't be able to do this to it. So it just shows you how worn it is. And that's how it works, and that's what failed in it. This piece of plastic, this is 25 years old or something, this, and it's never been replaced before. But yeah, that's how it works. It's a very simple design, and that's the cover. It's a very strong cover, what holds all that in. And they do sell a motor, but this is the actual worm gear. It's stuffed itself. You could replace it by the looks of it if you'd actually get if you could actually get it, that gear itself. Whoops, I'm supposed to drop it. So yeah, I thought I'd show you exactly what it looks like in here. Not the best light in there, is it? Yeah, and that's what's worn out. I don't think it'd be too hard to actually, if you could actually buy the worm gear itself, you could probably, I mean, I don't know how easy it would be if you could actually get that worm gear itself, and you could probably redo this, fix this up. The only problem I found though is if you could buy this holder, and the worm gear is that the motor, like, you know, if you got this replaced, that plastic bit of crap what I just put in and out, then is the motor, how long will that go for? So that's the only thing I was thinking of too. But this is how it goes back in the case. Just all you got to do is clip it back in, that's sticking out, and then you just put this back in, clip that in, and then all this does is it just went over it like that. And then all you got to do then is put your pins back in. These pins, I just tapped them out with a punch, a centre punch, and I did squish the ends of them with a pair of pliers, but that wouldn't matter, it's not going to affect it. And yeah, that's it. And yeah, that's exactly why it's stuffed up. That's what you shouldn't be able to do. You shouldn't be able to do that up and down with it. It should be locked. And anyone that's looking at these, they're not interchangeable either. Now what I mean by that is the Holden ones aren't all the same. As I found out, I seen the guts of a Holden one, a Holden Commodore one, which was a little bit later model than this one. It looks the same as this, but inside it, it's not. It was a 6-pin inside it, and the actual internals of it was different to this. So anyone that thinks that you could buy another cheap Chinese one or something and take the guts out of it to fix the original one what you got, like just this mechanism that works this, and you can just leave the original motor in place, it won't work like that because they don't make them. So I thought I'd just let everyone know that if you're going to pull one of these apart from another model and this one looks the same, don't always expect it to be the exact same as you take this out, because they're different. So even one from like this is off a Holden Astra 97 model or something, and a Commodore one, Holden Commodore VT or something, it's like 2000, 2001, or VX is 2001 or something like that. 99 to 2000 is like VT, and then you got the VX is 2001, 2002 or something like that. And you know, whatever, you know, models, these might look exactly the same case when you're looking at them like this, but I seen one, the guts of it pulled apart and the guts were completely different. I thought, oh, I could probably rebuild this one and put this one back in, but yeah, that's not going with the case. And I actually thought that I could probably just use the Commodore one instead of this one in it, but nah, you can't do that either, because it's not. They do have the top of it, what I just pulled in here on the Commodore one, it's got a little bit higher loop on it. And I thought, oh, I'd be able to just change that like I did with this one. Just pop this out and I could pop that other one in. But yeah, it's not. The pins were different, how it operates and everything inside it, which is a shame. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't ramble on too much. I was trying to explain everything the best I could. And yeah, if you get one of these door actuators, make sure that you get the right one for the right model of your car, because they are all different, including the wiring plug and everything. Even though it looks the same, like if you see it in the picture like this, yeah, they are different. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, share, comment, and have a great day.